Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be talking about Arsenal. Arsenal honestly have been very scary in this transfer window. They started slowly, but they are moving really very fast and they are moving strongly in the market. A lot of people would have never predicted Arsenal was going to be this active, judging by the history of Arsenal and perhaps the fact that they started slowly in this transfer market compared to the likes of Manchester United, who invariably need strikers, need this, need that, and even are willing to ship off about 7 players, from their squad. I mean, you give kudos to Ateta or the Bata or the board for whatever they are doing right now to ensure that finally Arsenal has, a striker that is prime striker. Victor Gykores is finally going to be an Arsenal player, according to Fabrizio Romano. The player himself is even willing to, to allow for some cuts in his salary to facilitate the Arsenal deal so that he can quickly become an Arsenal player. These are exciting times for Arsenal fans. I think the season holds some very good prospect for them. Also remember that they have Nogard coming in. Nogard still, for some reason, I don't know why it's not been announced by Arsenal already. But it is assumed that the deal is already done. We have Zubimendi that has already been announced. It's on social media, everybody can see it. There's already an Arsenal player already. We also have some outs, someone like Thomas Partey, someone like Jorginho, and many of these guys who are potentially going to be leaving. I mean, who have even left the club. The potential that might be leaving the club are the likes of Zinchenko and maybe Martinelli, who according to Fabrizio Romano, has now confirmed that there is entirely no link between Martinelli and the Saudi guys. There is no link at all. Ali, I think we're looking into bringing in Cristiano. I mean, bringing in Martinelli. But I think the deal is not concrete. I think there's nothing about the deal really, according to Fabrizio Romano. So Manchester United are in a very big deal. I mean, are in a very top place. Fine, they have gotten Ukraine. They were supposed to actually get Gykores on the basis of the fact that his coach Amorim is currently the manager of Manchester United. But I think that did not go through simply because of the fact that Amorim couldn't get them to the Champions League because they were not able to win, of course, the Europa League. Which Tottenham won. We also have the likes of Mohamed Kudus, who is likely going to be going to Tottenham Hotspur. So it's a really exciting time for the transfer windows, especially in the English Premier League. But for Arsenal in particular, looking at Eze, looking at Rodrygo, that is even a bigger deal. Looking at Madueke, likely coming from Chelsea. All these guys are going to spice up Arsenal. There's nothing you can say about that. And it actually makes Arsenal become very scary. You can lie to yourself, you can say whatever you want to say. But bringing in all of these guys, Rodrigo, for example, fitting in for Martinelli. Martinelli for Arsenal fans has always been somebody that they see as a problem. So if they are able to bring in Rodrigo, for example, they are going to go top notch. You cannot say anything else about that. They have Zubimendi already. Nogard is coming in. They are of course going to likely be completing the Eze deal. So I think it's a good time to be an Arsenal fan. I think it's a good time for Arsenal guys. And no doubt they are becoming scary. That is not to say that Manchester City is not doing business as well, or perhaps Liverpool are not doing, amazing business as well. But when you look at how these guys are doing the business, Arsenal, I think, is really focusing on the department that they have failed to improve in the last couple of years. We have known for 2 to 3 seasons now that Arsenal needed to get to bring in to play with a striker. We have always known about this, but for some reason, sorry, but for some reason, for whatever reason, it has been delayed up until now that we have a player that is finally willing to come to us now. I hope this is not the kind of tweak that Modric tweaked for us now and they finally ended up at Chelsea. Now we have Victor Gykores coming into us now, a top striker. He was the striker that scored the most goals last season. In all competitions, he scored the most goals, but he wasn't rated much enough because of the type of league he plays from. He plays in the Portuguese league, and I think there is a way they rate top three. What did they call it? Top three leagues, across Europe. I think there is a way they rate them. The Premiership, La Liga, as well as the Italian League. So, I think whatever goal you score or your performance is being multiplied by 1.5 coefficient, while playing for a league like in Portuguese league, it's multiplied just by one. So it gives these guys in this type of league, I think there was a time Lacazette also scored many goals, but it wasn't really talked about. It wasn't really, hyped enough. But then this is about what happened. So it's about playing in the proper league. So imagine Victoria Gykores comes to Arsenal now and is able to bag at least 30, 40 goals in a season in all competitions. You know his coefficient is going to be multiplied by 1.5, for example, and it will skyrocket his profile even more. That is what Alan has done. That's what these guys have done. That's why we keep talking about these guys because, of course, they play in the biggest league in probably in the world. Yes, they play in the biggest league in the world in the EPL. They are doing amazing things. They are scoring amazing goals. And Arsenal now have a beast in the goal. So this is exactly what we are talking about. This is exactly what Arsenal should have done a long time ago. But as the saying goes, it's never too late. The right time is the right time. Now Victor Gykores is going to be an Arsenal player. According to Fabrizio Romano, some things are just left to be done. Some documentations and probably agreeing on the price, which I think is not going to be a problem. So Arsenal is going to be announcing Nogard as well as Victor Gykores very, very soon. I don't know when they are going to be announcing Victor Gykores, but I know Nogard is close. In fact, they should have even announced Nogard for whatever reason. I don't know. They have not announced Nogard because that is a deal since like 2, 3 weeks ago. But then the preseason is starting very, very soon. So in the Arsenal forward right now, we are going to be having players like, Havertz. We are going to be having Kayo Saka, Martinelli. If he doesn't leave, we are going to be having Victor Gykores. We don't know where Merino is going to be playing next season. We are going to be having Gabriel Jesus. We are going to be having Nwaneri. We are going to be having many of these guys who are going to be rotating and playing many of these games as well. And there is even a very big potential, I mean, possibility that Rodrigo is going to come to us now. No, not Rodrigo. Maybe Rodrigo's deal is not really sure about that. Let's be honest with ourselves. For the likes of Eze will want to jump at us now. He wants to come to us now, definitely. Ahmad Wake too, I see as a very, very potential deal that might likely go through. So Arsenal guys, are you excited for all these deals? Are you excited about, all of these things that is happening with the club? So remember to drop your comments in the comment section and also remember to subscribe to my channel. It is very, very important. Let's have a discussion. The preseason is starting very, very soon. I'm all hyped for the preseason. I want to see how our teams are going to be performing. Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, Manchester City, by the way, are having a very, very good time in the market. They did early business because, of course, they went to the Club World Cup, which they are knocked out of right now, understandably. Chelsea, by the way, with the lap, they are still very much in the competition. I mean, they are doing amazing. I think they're in the semi-final or so. So they might likely even win it, although they have Real Madrid as well as PSG as well in that competition. And I think, I can't remember the fourth club they are, that's also there. So, so guys, this is also what I'm going to be saying today. Remember to drop your comments in the comment section. I really, really want to hear from you. Until next time, guys.